Hi, I'm Shannon and I work at Inspired Selections. I think it's mainly the helping people, and it's still a very professional environment. You're helping people in a medical sense as well. It's people's eyesight, but at the same time you get that retail feel. It's that face-to-face interaction, meeting new people, um, in a clinical and professional environment. So you get the best of both worlds. So I got out of optics because I was promised so many things. I worked for a really big flagship store. I was taken on with the promise of going on to the DO course. And after 2 years of all those promises never materialising, never being put in on courses or having that progression that I wanted, I thought, right, this isn't for me now. I didn't particularly, even at that point, after wasting 2 years waiting to get on the course, I thought, I don't want to spend the next 3 years of my life studying alongside working, where I could be in an industry where you make just as much money without having to study, without having to go into any further education. So actually I was like, I need to look outside of optics, and I went into recruitment. And unfortunately, I was made redundant during the pandemic. It was completely unrelated to optics, and then I found these guys, and it was like a light bulb moment. Optics, I've got over 2 years experience in optics, and then I had about a year's experience in recruitment, and I was like, I can't believe I've never thought of this before. Optical recruitment. So that's kind of how I got here. Just the ability to talk to people. In optics, when you're seeing so many new patients, you have to be able to build that relationship and build that rapport with them in order to understand their needs. So how their glasses are going to be helping them on a day-to-day, finding out more about their lifestyle and so on. And equally, this is the same. It's building relationships with people to find out what they're looking for and how their next job can suit their lifestyle, and matching accordingly. I mean, as an OA, I earned good money. I was comfortable, but now I definitely earn double that, if not more. Actually, commission alone, I'm taking home more than I was taking as a basic salary as an OA. So, I would definitely recommend it. I think it's not necessarily a career. It's just taking a step sideways. You're still in optics. I'm still speaking to OAs. I'm still speaking to optoms. I'm still speaking to DOs. Everything. I still feel like I've got my ear to the ground. But it's just building on the skills that I loved as an OA. Being able to talk to people, and that's what I do. I talk to people. So, in that sense, it's not really a career move. It's more of just a step sideways within optics. It's just a different avenue throughout optics to go down, really. Okay, so in this role, I definitely get my weekends back. I can't tell you, I've got a social life for the first time in how many years. In optics, I worked every weekend without fail, going to see friends and so on. It's like, they never even used to ring me anymore because it's like, we know she's at work. But now it's completely different. I'm able to see my partner and my family and so on. I'm able to do stuff in the week knowing that, I've got the weekends off, and as well, the financial security and stability that this job has given me has changed my life. It has. I'm able to actually start saving for things like a house and get a mortgage, and I'm getting married, and I'm able to actually pay towards that. Whereas on an OA salary, I really would have struggled. This has helped me so much. I think you've got to have the ability to talk to people, because recruitment itself, I think, can be trained. I think you've got to be the kind of person that is willing to talk to people and build those relationships and just be genuine and have a genuine interest for helping people. As long as you've got that, as well as a really hard work ethic, you know, you're willing to put in the time, you're willing to put in the hours, because it isn't going to be easy initially. It takes a bit of practice being able to, you know, ask the right questions and find out more. But equally, OA roles were very similar. You know, being able to ask the right questions in order to understand their lifestyle. That's what you're doing on a day to day. So you've got to have that work ethic and be willing to have that drive to keep pushing yourself, because you're not micromanaged. You know, you run your own desk, so you've got to have that drive and that push to keep yourself going, because no one else is going to keep pushing you. In this role, you can make as much money or as little money as you like. You know, it's you that's in charge, so you've got to have that drive and resilience. I think you've got to be able to just bounce back. You know, if you're having a bad day, or say someone went in for an interview and, you know, it didn't go as well as you thought it was going to go, you've got to be able to bounce back and think, okay, on to the next one, you know, which in recruitment you've got to be able to do. Otherwise, you know, it's quite an emotional role. You can get upset about everything, whereas, you know, if you just learn to say, okay, this one didn't happen, it will happen on the next one, you know, and that's the right mentality. As long as you've got the right attitude, you know, the skills of recruitment can be trained. You've got to be the right kind of person, I think. Oh, if you're thinking about making this jump, don't think, just do it. Honestly, this has changed my life. It has. I've always been that kind of person. I didn't know where I was going. I went to uni and I did psychology. I came out of uni and fell into optics, and I didn't know where my career was going to go. And then during optics, I kind of, you know, after all those empty promises of going on to the DO course and so on, it was like I decided to make a career change. I went into recruitment because I thought OAs, you know, it's transferable skills. Went into recruitment, unfortunately was made redundant during the pandemic, and landed here in optical recruitment. It literally is a marriage made in heaven. So, you know, if you're thinking about making the change, don't think, just do it. It's the best decision I've ever made in my life, and this is me now for life. This is my career. I will be an optical recruiter for as long as I live. So that's it, that's my story. I'm Shannon again at Inspired Selections, and if you honestly are thinking about making the change, please get in touch. It's the best decision I ever made, and I can promise you it will be the best decision you make.